Don't work with your friends. Don't work with your friends. It's fun in the beginning, but the trouble never ends. Don't work with your friends. Don't sleep with the boss. Never sleep with the boss. You'll never turn a profit and you'll take an awful loss. Don't sleep with the boss. You know, I've always been amazed at the various and sundry little ways people screw up their lives by disregarding simple common sense. Oh, the consequences are severe from what I hear. But how would I know? Don't hire your wife, not your husband or wife. Would you rather have an argument or rather have a life? Don't hire your wife. Consequences are profound when it all comes down. I've seen it happen to decent people. My God, it's awful, so very painful. Okay, it might have been me. Don't count on your kin. Never deal your kin in. Not your brother or your mother or identical twin. You never can win. Don't count on your kin. Do you want a life? Don't hire your wife. Think profit and loss. Don't sleep with the boss. Here's where the song ends. Don't work with your friends. Don't work with your friends. From 8 unnecessary songs no one wanted, no one needed, and yet here they are. Yes, 8 unnecessary songs by Susan Werner, and I am Susan Werner, and I'll be Susan Werner for the next hour of my life and possibly yours. And thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. If you are here, then you are joining us. And thanks for joining us tonight, as opposed to all your other entertainment choices you have all around the world. Thanks for tuning in for Susie on Sundays, the 15th episode. Wow, since the big national lockdown began. And I hope this show is keeping you good company through this strange year. And thank you all for your kind support of these odd online endeavors. And there have been some fun ones, including Wine and Cheese Night, which we'll do again. Thanks to everyone joining us on Facebook and over on YouTube tonight. And thanks to digital coordinator Kelly Lynn Knott out in Hawaii. And happy to have joining me tonight someone that I've gotten to know over the last couple years, and we've done some shows together and had a wonderful time of it, and I'm thrilled that he's joining me tonight, and we have some special musical treats planned for you, so please welcome to the program, the one and only, Livingston Taylor. How are you, Liv?
Suzanne, I'm so good. It was so good to hear you play. What a tonic. What a tonic for these tired spirits. And what a tonic it is for me to see your beautiful face. Wow.
It's nice. It's nice to see you. And I like that blue shirt. That's a great color.
Oh, good. Yes. Well, it's yes. Thank you very much. And I'm here. I'm here at my house on Martha's Vineyard Island. And it's been bucolic and nice. And now, of course, it's filling up because it's summer. Yep. But I moved here in mid-March when the COVID hit and you and I became housebound. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's been a very interesting time. So it's great to be here. It's great to be able to play and
Well, thanks for joining
most
me, and
pleasant.
I'm honored that you're joining us tonight. I'm in Philadelphia, and Liv is in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yes.
Yep, and some of you are joining us from different places. I'll have a chance to look at the comments here
Yeah,
in just
good.
a moment, and let's have Liv play one of his great songs for us.
Nothing's impossible I have found, but when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, I dust myself off, start all over again. Oh, don't lose your confidence if you slip. Be thankful for a pleasant trip. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off. Start all over again. Work like a soul inspired till the battle of the day is done. You may be sick and tired, but in the end you won. Do you remember the women and the men who would have to fall to rise again? They picked themselves up and they dust themselves off and they start all over again. And they start all over again and again and again. And I am not hearing you, Susan. Is let me get my volume up. No, I don't have. I'm not hearing you. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you unmute?
Yeah, that probably makes a difference right there, right?
Well, it makes a difference in terms of my being able to hear you. Yes. My lip reading skills have been fading with my eyesight, regretfully.
Well, and I could not see the tiny check in the corner that I had accidentally muted my own mic. I was going to ask you if that song is from a show. Do you know which show
That
it's
song,
from?
I don't know that it's from a show. My guess is that it is. Uh, I'm not remembering. It was written by lyrics by Dorothy Fields, music by Jerome Kern, and it's a great piece of songwriting.
It's
And
lovely.
yeah, yeah, those and the idea how Jerome Kern and then the key change.
Right.
It's really, really good. That guy is Jerry Kern, born in 1885, and the grand master of pop songs. He really laid the foundation for a lot of great writers. Yeah, really something.
Well, I'm going to do a song now from the Great American Songbook. This song was written, the music by Susan Werner and the lyrics by Susan Werner. And she was not among the heavies of the genre, but she did what she could with what she had. So here's a song from 2004 from a project of songs I wrote to sound as if they might have been written by Cole Porter or Cole Porter's smart mouth little sister. Yeah. Coffee, ham, and eggs. I can be your diner. tired aching legs, I'll be your recliner. When you need a breath of air, I'll be your balcony. When you need a laugh, I can be your joker. Cut a loss in half, I can be your broker. 'Cause all of that and more you have been for me. And I'll be the release when the pressure's heightening. I can be the grease when your wheels are tightening. And when you need a dance, I can be that old soft shoe. I can be your girl through the best and worst time. But I can't be the girl you notice for the first time. There's so much I can do, but I can't be new. La 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 la. And when they're buying you steak, I can be the gravy. When they throw you in the lake, I can be the Navy. Be that 3-day leave, I can be that bad tattoo. And I can be the sky, the very wild blue yonder. Still I can't catch your eye when it starts to wander. As I've seen it do, oh, at least a time or two. I'll be anything for you, baby, but I can't be new.
Ah, that is so beautiful, Susan. What
Thank you. You know, it has
what a
some of those
yeah.
smart person chords that you were throwing in that last
Yeah.
one, right? Some of
Well,
those.
I call those hippie chords. I call those the marijuana chords. Be careful about those marijuana chords.
Because, yeah, you're doing some of this and this, which is why part of the reason it's fun to do shows with you is to see what you're going to do around here and over here.
Yeah, well, what your viewers need to understand, and what you don't talk about, but I will talk about, is how stunningly musical you are, and it's it took you a while to notice me, but I noticed you. Oh gosh, what 30 years ago, we were doing some outdoor show somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And you were playing. And the moment I heard you at sound check, you were so good and so musical. And yeah, no, I freaked out. Susie.
Well,
I've been all over you like cheap whiskey ever since.
like what is it, stripes on a bad suit or something, but I appreciate all your kind advocacy of my work and doing shows together, and we have done shows together, and we've talked about, we should take the show on the road, and tonight We are taking the show on the road. It's just
are
from our
on the
homes.
road. Yeah.
And we have lots of people joining us from Kent, Ohio, and Michigan. And some people have seen you in Washington, D.C. And you'll see. Can you see the comments, Liv? Can you see them
No,
down
I
there?
don't.
Oh, you
I
can't
don't
see
see
them.
the comments here, and don't worry. It's really fine. You can say Kelly, don't send Livingston the comments because remember what Catherine said. I love Catherine Hepburn's quote: "A bad review is terrible. A good review is never good enough." I love that quote.
Wow, she knew. She
That
knew.
she knew.
She knew. What will you do for us now for a
Let me
song?
see. I get lost crossing the street and I can't find my own 2 feet. But I love my baby and she thinks I'm sweet. I must be doing something right. She's intelligent, patient, hardworking, and shrewd. I'm sarcastic, bombastic, lazy, and rude. But we've earned it up when we get in that mood. I must be doing something right. Finally, there's a crystal sunrise. Finally, the world is fair. All the love that I kept hidden from the moon is finally ours to share. There are plenty of guys she could pick. GQ jawline, hair so slick. I gotta break it to you fellas, you've all been licked. I must be doing something right. There are plenty of guys she could find, good looking, rich, and not out of their minds. But oh, good news, love's still blind, and I must be doing something. And I must be doing something. Oh, and I must be doing something right. Mm.
Must be doing something. That's like a right there. That's one of your money makers right there.
That's you. Whoa! Don't be playing. Don't be just throwing away the money chords, Susie. Don't do it. I need them chords. Be careful. Don't put the money chords out there.
Don't give away the magician's secrets, right?
Oh no, give them to anybody who'll take them.
You know, I think there's one of those chords in this song, one of those money chords, passing chords. La 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 la. Here's a song I want to send out to my father out in Manchester, Iowa. My father is a farmer. I grew up on a farm, a working farm in eastern Iowa. That's the only kind of farm they had those days. Working farms. There were no hobby farms. There were no alpaca farms. There was no goat yoga. At any rate, my dad worked hard. He really worked hard. And he grew up on a farm himself, and we were talking yesterday about the horses, which make an appearance in this song. And he remembers the horses from his early days, and the horses were, I think he said, Perchins. pronounced Perchins, not Percherons, but Perchins. And there were also Belgians. And I said, did you have Clydesdales? He said, no. Those were the Budweiser horses, the Clydesdales. And then I remember talking once with my friend and tour manager, Jane, who said, I said, you ever see those guys? What were those one guys? The stripper guys. What was the name of that? She said, oh yeah, those stripper guys. I think they were called the Clydesdales. They weren't Chippendales, but at any rate, the horses. Oh yes, right. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Dad. Here we go. The moon is going to work. He is hitching up his horses. And his favorite team, of course, is big old Jupiter and Mars. The moon is going to work. And his plow blade is a crescent. And the evening's warm and pleasant. It is time to plant the stars. He will turn the rich dark earth of night. He will scatter sparkling seeds of light. And they will grow until they glow. And then the cities all come out to claim them. Who can blame them? So make a wish on one before they disappear. The moon is going to work. And you can hear him if you're listening. There's a little tune he's whistling. It is time to plant the stars. He will fill the acres of the sky, working westward as the night goes by, until he's done and day's begun. And then the stars soak up the sun like flowers through the daylight hours. And then they'll blossom in the night before our eyes. The moon is going to work, and with diligence and patience, he grows the mighty constellations. It is time to plant the stars. It is time to plant the stars. It is time to plant the stars. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Oh,
thank
my
you.
goodness.
Yeah.
Beautiful sound.
Thank you. You know, I like to say, people say, oh, Susan, you work really hard. You're really, I'm like, oh no, dairy farming. That's the, it's the hardest. Anything is easier than dairy farming. Anything.
One time I heard, who was the guy? Oh gosh, I'm blocking his name, Susan. Who was the guy in Doctor Strangelove? Or How I Learned to Love the Bomb, Stop Hating the Bomb, and whatever.
Is it Benedict Cumberbatch?
No, it was Tex. Oh gosh. Anyhow, he was doing a talk show one time. And Johnny Heck, if I'd known how easy show business was, I would have done it years ago. I would have started doing this years ago. It was a very, yeah. Next to, make no mistake, if people think this is fun and easy, they are absolutely right. Imagine, imagine, if you will, picking up a guitar. I got a guitar, it's right here. Right now, I don't know how to play it because I'm not playing it. And if somebody said, well, can you play the guitar? I go, well, I could. And then all of a sudden I pick it up and my Father stands before me in a place that's his alone. I'm guided to the future. I have the world to roam. I stand up and I'm counted 1,000,000 miles from home. I can see forever in my Father's eyes. My Father sits before me, his hands upon his chin. His fingers touch his lips until my story ends. Patiently we get it straight. The who's, the wins, the whys, truth ever protected in my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes, my Father's hands. Oh, Daddy, quickly pick me up. When will I be a man? When will I live long enough to make somebody fly? When will the mirror show me my Father's eyes? My Father's resting in a chair in a long, cold winter sun. He falls into a restless sleep, still itching for the run. The arms are thin and the movement slow, but there'll be one more try. Strength has another measure in my Father's eyes. My Father's eyes, my Father's hands. Oh, Daddy, quickly pick me up. When will I be a man? When will I live long enough to make somebody fly? When will the mirror show me my Father's eyes? When will the mirror show me my Father's eyes?
Beautiful. And we can hear the birds singing
Oh yeah,
along.
well, yeah. No,
It's
they're
lovely.
singing. Yeah, they're around here.
How lovely. And how lovely to think about
Mm.
um, how your father's eyes and mm, um, uh, we have so many people lived who have seen you before in different places and
Hmm.
uh, a few people, Mike in Sterling, Virginia. We have Amherst, Ohio tonight. Tammy Coolbeck tuning in from Ames, Iowa, and she said, if I may, I'm just gonna. I mean, let's not make this about you when it's actually about me, which is, which is dairy farming.
Boy,
Dairy.
that makes, if we're planning on keeping viewers, that's very, very sage advice.
Tammy Coolbeck says, yeah, dairy farming is the hardest. Yes,
Yeah,
the hardest. So you and I are not working too terribly hard here, and now we're working from home. I
yeah.
mean, travel was the worst part of it, and look now. Oh my God.
Travel was the worst. Except how beautiful is it? I so miss going and seeing my beautiful audience, seeing their faces, craving their companionship and their embrace. Oh, I miss that sorely indeed, and I cannot wait till COVID is over and Susan Warner and Livingston Taylor are going to get out there and we are going to go spank some musical bottoms. That's what we're going to do.
I miss people. I do miss people a lot. I don't miss sitting, looking at the back of a plane seat. But if you miss applause, look what we have for you here.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Sweet.
Do you miss?
It was nothing. Thank you. I'm merely a vessel. I'm a vessel.
A vessel.
For these blessings.
Do you miss the laughs? I miss the. I just miss the laughs. I miss all of that. And I miss singing together. I think it's the making of music with other people that is, I'm missing a lot. And we have a little treat for you now, Livingston, that Kelly is going to cue up. And I just want to remind our audience, just keep an eye on your volume here because Kelly's going to play something for us. And it might be at a slightly different volume level. So you may want to keep an eye on your levels as this begins. Roll 'em, Kelly Lynn Nutt.
The things I used to like, I don't like anymore. I like a lot of other things I never liked before. It's just like Mama said, I sit around and mope, thinking I am wonderful and knowing I'm a dope. I'm restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I had spring fever, but I know it isn't spring.
I'm starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when I know it isn't spring?
I keep wishing I were somewhere else, walking down a crowded street,
hearing words I've never heard from a love I've yet to meet.
I'm busy as a spider spinning daydreams. I'm as giddy as a baby on a swing. I haven't seen a crocus nor a rosebud, nor a robin on the wing.
But I feel so gay in a melancholy way that it might as well be spring. It might as well be so lovely.
Yeah, written by, of course, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein II. And it was featured in the frankly rather forgettable movie State Fair. And,
rather forgettable.
Well, when you compare
I-
State Fair with
Right.
Oklahoma or
Right.
South Pacific or The King and I mean, forget about it.
Look,
You know,
anybody can have a bad 5 years. And that's probably how long it took to do those things. Right?
Well, I got to tell you, but um, do I have a second to do a bit of this one
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
from The King and I? And I want your viewers to pay attention here, pay very close attention, because what you're going to hear is a beautifully assembled song with such restraint and discipline. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you, getting to like you, getting to hope you like me, getting to know you, putting it by way but nicely. You are precisely my cup of tea. Getting to know you, getting to feel free and easy when I am with you, getting to know what to say. Haven't you noticed? Suddenly I'm bright and breezy because of all the beautiful and new things I'm learning about you day by day.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-da. I mean, that's a hook.
By the way, forget about it. What writing? Oh man!
Well, it's such economy, right? Such economy.
But such economy and discipline, such an understanding, Susan, that and this song was vetted, meaning long before anybody ever heard it. First, it was written by two masters, and then it passed through a dozen filters, producers, directors, preview audiences, and each one of them would have honed it. Musical arrangers, orchestra leaders, singers, and so by the time it actually hit an audience's ear, it had been so shaped and polished and formed, and it felt so beautiful as it came out of an instrument and out of a singer's mouth and into a listener's ear. This notion that just because you can write, record, and release something in an hour and 4 minutes doesn't mean that you should.
Well, that's exactly. And to that point, let me play a song now that surely didn't go past enough filters because it's mine.
Oh!
The moon rose above the river, stars sparkled through the sweet gum tree. I steeled my spine, stomach, and liver for the evening ahead of me. Had to start it off with turtle soup and gin martinis at Commander's Palace. 2, 3, 4. The night I ate New Orleans. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The night I ate New Orleans. The night I ate New Orleans. New Orleans stole my heart. First stop, Muffaletta. Central Grocery, it was worth the wait. Next stop, jambalaya. I went to Coop's place and I cleaned my plate. Oysters, Rockefeller at Antoine's. And then the Brennans for bananas, Foster, the night I ate New Orleans, yeah. The night I ate New Orleans. The night I ate New Orleans. New Orleans stole my heart. Stole my heart and gave me heartburn. Heartburn all the whole next day. Oh, but now I feel my heart yearn for some fresh beignet and crawfish etouffee at Felix's. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You getting hungry? Okay, everybody east of the Mississippi sing. East of the Mississippi, the night I ate New Orleans. West of the Mississippi, take it. Everybody nationwide, the night I ate New Orleans. New Orleans stole my heart. Yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Nationwide applause. It's just nothing like it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Could I ask you a quick technical question?
Sure.
Once again, for your viewers, one of the things that's remarkable about your piano playing is the quality of that left hand.
Oh.
What do you think about how do you get that your left hand is stunningly clear, and is that something you pay attention to? Is it something you practice independently of your right hand?
Yeah, and thanks for asking that. Here's this little thing called Dr. Beat, which is just a fancy metronome, right? Fancy metronome, this thing. But I sit here with this thing, and right, like let me come back to the. I mean, just for a while, you know, and they become independent. And then what you can start to do is throw the grease on, which is what Dr. John and the great New Orleans pianists do. Is they throw the grease on, and what the grease is that the left hand is later, the right hand is later than the left, right?
Fantastic.
And that's what the great thing about someone like Dr. John or James Booker, that they're in Harry Connick Jr. The independence of their hands is part of what makes frankly, makes your ass move. And then a metronome makes a big difference. Do you practice with a metronome? I mean, or not so much?
You know, and not as much as I'm going to, because anything I can do to get my left hand on the keyboard to sound closer to what you're doing, I am going to do. Gee, it's just such a great sound, Susie.
Thanks,
Very
hon.
fine.
And just do it slow first. That's the thing. Sometimes we hurry to do things, but you just got to put in the time, right? I mean, you just so slow, and even slower than that, just painful slow. And then if you're bored, you just change the sound, and then you can do the bricks, click, 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 or you can get the dominatrix. Here she comes.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you're killing me.
But the metronome is metronome is a friend. Yeah.
Believe me, lesson well learned. And you piano players out there, you take heed, because you are watching one of the great ones. Sharpen up.
Thanks. What will you play for us now?
That's a good question. Let me see. Oh. rusted and strong, burned up hot, stoked up and ready, aching for one more shot, paired to the bone, taste of a tree. When you hear a shout on the one way out, look up and there I'll be. Under the dark, dart in the wall, scruffy and a little chewed up, tugging myself up tall, though fine print. They tore up the guarantee. Oh, get up near when the smoke all clears. Look up in there, I'll be. I'll be there when they're holding up their hearts and kicking up their heels and howling at the moon. I'll be there when they finally figure out love writes the sweetest tunes. Love heals the deepest wounds. Love fills the empty rooms. Thanks for the walk and the cigarettes. If you're going past Duffy's bar and you want to make a bet, win, place, or show, you can set it all on me. Lay your hands on the promised land, look up and there I'll be. Lay your hands on the promised land, look up and there I'll be.
Wait a minute, how did I get into this song? This isn't right.
Oh, laid out promised land, there I'll be.
Isn't this one of the first tunes we all try to learn? I'm missing one chord in there.
Susan, so
Right? That ending is going to come in handy. I'll try to do it on the end of this tune. So you brought along your girlfriend, your kind of pretty crazy girlfriend. What the hell were you thinking? She never stops drinking, she talks all the time. And now you're running out of money. Yeah, you've been running through the money. You don't know where it all went. Right now you just spent your very last dime. But when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising the Malecon, oh, all your troubles are gone. Or when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising La 23, oh, world's a wonderful place. Yes, it is. And you're driving with the top down. You're in the sunshine with the top down. Yeah, you're rolling in a carriage that is the perfect marriage of vinyl and chrome. You got the white walls and the tail fins, the two-tone color and the tail fins. Salsa on the AM station. Why end this vacation? Why ever go home? 'Cause when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising the Malecon, oh, all your troubles are gone. Or when you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising La 23, oh, roll past La Zora y el Cuervo, you'll smile and let every last care go, floating away on the music in your ears. As you roll past La Melia Coiba, your girlfriend gets out and says, see ya, yeah, she's over it, she's had enough. You don't care because now you're in love with a Chevrolet. Hey. When you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising the Malecon, oh, all your troubles are gone. When you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air and you're cruising La 23, oh, world's a wonderful place. When you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, oh, la 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 la. When you're in a 1955 Chevy Bel Air, oh. 1955 Chevy Bel Air from Susan Werner's An American in Havana. Yeah, that's a little guitar, little guitar
you were
tune
playing
there.
that song. You were playing that song, and I was wishing that I was remembering back to the time when you and I were on Martha's Vineyard smoking a couple of cohibas together, if
we
my
were.
memory serves me.
was
This
great.
is, and I don't care if I'm talking out of school. I don't care one little bit. I'm telling you, this woman she is so strong that she can just power up a beautiful cigar and smoke like nothing.
I do
Oh,
like,
man.
I do like good cigars, and that was really fun when when
know.
I got to go to a tobacco farm in outside Havana. It was mind blowing. I mean, the color of the soil and all of that stuff, the shade,
so good.
all of that factors into it. Hey, I wanted to ask you about your guitar there. If you'll tell us
Yes.
what you're playing and what is in the sound hole. We've had a few
I
people
know.
asking.
I know what's in the sound hole is a washcloth, because I have a show, the Livingston Taylor Show, which is broadcast on, which I do at 4:00 Tuesday afternoon, and I put the towel in my guitar to dampen the ferocity of the guitar, because this is a guitar that I normally use, of course, on stage, and it's a big paint the barn red, so it just it tempers it down. You want to hear a little of my theme song for my show?
Oh, yes. Let's hear the Livingston Taylor Show theme song.
Okay, it goes. God, okay, here I go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. You never know where it's gonna go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. Hi, it's the Livingston Taylor Show. Brought to you this week by Waffle House, the South's favorite way to get food 2 in the morning. By the way, if you're up at 2 in the morning and you're not on your way to work, probably not that much good has been happening or is going to happen. That notwithstanding, it's the Livingston Taylor Show. It's the Livingston Taylor Show. We're out of time. We gotta go. It's the Livingston Taylor Show.
Okay, so do you start each show with this song?
Of course. And then I end the show with that song. And when I was a kid, Susan, there was a show on television, the Lester Flatt Earl Scruggs show. And it came on, and I loved it. And it was brought to you by Martha White, and they had a little theme song. Martha White's help raising power. That was Martha White's help raising power. It's got hot rice. Boop, 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 boop. And they would sing the theme song, and then they'd break for a commercial at a certain point, and then they'd come back, and their hats were off, and that meant that they were going to do a sacred number. And I remember that show so
Oh.
vividly from a kid. And when I got kicked out of the concert halls, uh, I said, well, I'm going to have a show, and it's going to be a half hour, and I'm going to model it after Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs' show. 19, it ran 19, I think 1954 through 61, something like that.
The cue to take your hat off for a sacred song. That's a good bit.
Oh,
That's a good bit.
oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love a sacred number, and it's so nice to take the hat off.
Well, we have a sacred number now coming up with the both of us. It is a sacred number to those of us in the GLBT community. So it's a kind of hymn, and it's great for Pride Month. And we happen to have a little treat here. So again, a reminder to our listeners: maybe turn your volume down a little bit for this video that's going to play now.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane.
When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain.
Somewhere over the rainbow, wake up high. There's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
Someday I'll wish upon a star. I'll wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly.
Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I?
If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't
The birds.
Wow.
The Birds.
That's the that.
It's just amazing, The Birds. I love how they show up at the end like magic, like that. I'm wondering if Liv has a connection that is a little wonky at the moment. And it could be that he does. Oh, he's coming
Testing
back.
1, 2.
He's coming
There I
back
am
for
back
this
again.
final number. And it's going to
Yeah.
be a
Oh,
good one.
good.
And well, I'm here to tell you about some exciting news. I'm thrilled to share this news with you, by the way. That on August 12th, hi dear. August 12th, I have a live show. I have a show with an audience. It's gonna, yeah, you know what it's gonna sound like. It's gonna sound like. I have a show with a live audience, Liv, on August 12th in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Woodbridge Wednesdays. I'm so thrilled. And I don't know if I'm going to bring like an enormous plastic tarp to hug people or what we're going to, I don't know if we're just going to have to wave to people from a distance, but looking forward to that. Next week, Sunday, is June 28th, Lost and Obscure and Underperformed Songs. A few of you have given me a hard time about not playing certain songs so far in this 15 weeks of shows. So I'll be playing Montgomery Street Stationery, Courting the Muse, some other ones. If you have requests, let us know, and please send us the lyrics. That's the biggest help. July 5th, New Nonfiction in its entirety, which is an album from 2001. Includes a song called May I Suggest. July 12th is Duet Night, including new material from Vanita Gale and Seth Gleer. The great Seth Gleer. I know, Liv, you know him.
Well, of course, Seth is a former student of mine, and always a joy to hear him play. He's a good one.
He's a great talent. And as we wrap up this show tonight, Liv, thanks so much for joining us and making time to include me in your schedule. You have your Tuesday afternoon show at 4 p.m. Is that right on Facebook?
At Tuesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Facebook.
Yep. And we're going to close tonight with this song, and I'm going to attempt to sing and play with Liv. And some of you know there's a thing called latency on the internet that makes it very hard to time simultaneous music making. So I'm going to make a guess, and it will be wrong, but it will be heartfelt.
Susan, thank you so much for having me on your show. And thank you for being such an amazing musical force. I love you.
Love you too, hon.
The river is wide. I can't cross over. And neither can I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and both shall row. My love and I.
There is a ship, she sails the sea. She's loaded deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not how I sink or swim.
Oh, that sounded great, Susan.
You spanked that bad boy.
Love is handsome. love is kind.
The sweetest
Fresh.
flower, when first it's new.
But love grows old and waxes cold
And fades away like morning dew.
Wind is why I can't cross over, and neither can I wings to fly. Give me a boat that will carry two, and both shall run.
My love and I,
And both shall roll. My love
and Livingston Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, Livingston Taylor, thank you for joining us tonight, Liv. Wish you a lovely Sunday night at your lovely home. Hi to Gail, enjoy your week. I know some of my people will be happy to know that you are doing a show at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, and they will see you there. I hope I see you in person before too long. Livingston Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. And those beyond the gender binary, that's right. Happy Pride Month to all of you. Happy Pride Month to all of us. La, 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 la. See you next week for lost, obscure, and underperformed Susan Werner songs. Thanks to Kelly out in Hawaii. Happy Father's Day.